You will not be able to get the benefits from your red light therapy panel unless you're using it correctly and consistently. In order to get the most benefits out of it, you need to follow a protocol designed to maximize those benefits. Red light therapy is based on thousands upon thousands of peer-reviewed research. However, it does require you to balance several factors to maximize the benefits. This includes things like the distance your body is away from the red light, the amount of time you spend in that light, and how frequently you do a session. Each one of those will have an impact on what sort of benefits you get. And I know, it sounds really overwhelming and perhaps intimidating at first, but at the end of this video, I'm gonna have you with all the knowledge you need to get going to get great benefits from your EWOT system. Now, I recently spoke to a customer who had purchased a panel, and after several weeks, he wasn't seeing the benefits he wanted. He told me he was doing 30-minute red light therapy sessions and seeing very little benefits. And he asked me, should he do a second session a day? He was immediately shocked when I told him he should definitely not do a second session a day. I could hear it in his voice. He was disappointed. He had just purchased this panel and he was investing his time and doing it consistently. He's not seeing results, and I'm telling him more was not going to get him results. I mean, that's frustrating. But the next sentence I said really lit him up. I told him he would get more benefits by reducing the amount of time he was spending underneath the red light. He could get more from doing less, and that was truly a light bulb moment for him. I spoke to him a few weeks later, and he told me he was already seeing great benefits from the reduced protocol. Now, this wasn't some amazing magic trick. Tom was just following good, solid science. As I've said, there's thousands of research papers using a variety of different protocols, and by generalizing all of them, we've learned the limits and the ranges on how we want to use red light to be successful and get the maximum amount of benefits. So let's not waste your time learning the same lesson. Let's not have you crawling through PubMed reading research to try to figure out how the heck you get to a good protocol. Let's help you design a great protocol right now so that you can get results quickly. So before we talk about how much time you need to spend underneath the red light, we actually have to back it up and talk about how close you should be to your red light panel. Now, there's several factors you need to consider. The first factor a lot of folks are interested in is EMF. EMF is that dirty electro-smog that electrical appliances put off. And if you're close to an electrical appliance, you obviously get more EMF than if you're further away. Customers often ask us about the EMF of our panels. Now here's the great news. If you're 4 inches or more away from our panels, there is zero measurable EMF. It's perfectly safe without having to deal with any EMF exposure, which is awesome. However, we recommend the optimal placement for your body with respect to the light is about 6 to 12 inches. And here's why. Light spreads out from the LED in a cone fashion, so it has broader coverage area the further you get away. However, as that coverage broadens, each area underneath the light is getting less intensity of light. So it's like getting more diluted, if you will. More diluted, but larger space. So we want to balance that. At 6 to 12 inches away, the cone on our red light is broad enough that it can cover a large part of your torso and your body and help give you those systemic red light benefits you're looking for. However, it's not too far away where it becomes so diffuse, so diluted, that you're not able to get great benefits in a relatively short amount of time. So we are trying to balance both of those. So the first thing you want to do is be about 6 to 12 inches away. Now, if you can maintain your body in that 6 to 12 inches of distance, then the next thing you want to do is focus on exposure time. How long do you stand underneath that light? Our recommendation for our lights is about 10 to 20 minutes. Why is this? Well, if you look at the research, there's something really interesting that happens with red and near infrared light. It has this interesting interaction with our mitochondria. And this is the magic of red light therapy. It stimulates our mitochondria to produce more energy so that the cells can do whatever they're designed to do at their best. More energy means more cellular performance, and that equals all the benefits you see with red light therapy. So we recommend 10 to 20 minutes because this benefit to the mitochondria is finely tuned. It has something called a biphasic dose response. So what is that? A biphasic dose response is a fancy scientific term for saying that the benefits you get from red and near infrared light are on a bell curve over time. So as time increases, your benefits increase, but at some period in time they peak, and if you go longer, they decrease, and eventually they go back to the 0 point. That was Tom. Tom was doing it too long, and he'd gone over the top of the bell curve, and so he was in this area where he was spending more time and getting less benefits. And that's why I told him to back off the amount of time under the red lights and focus on about 10 to 20 minutes. I personally do my red light sessions for about 15 minutes, and I find that's a really good space. Some folks like to do a little more or a little less. Now, when I say 10 to 20 minutes, that's on a skin area. So for instance, if you were to lay underneath one of our panels or stand in front of one of our panels for your front torso, you would do 10 to 20 minutes. And if you decided you wanted to do a second session for your back, you would turn around and do 10 to 20 minutes on that as well. Now, just make sure you don't treat the same skin area twice when you do that. So don't treat your front and then turn 15 degrees and kind of treat your side, because you're going to end up over treating this area and negating your benefits. 6 to 12 inches away, 10 to 20 minutes per session. Last thing, how frequently should you do it? Well, you can do it as frequently as daily, but not more. And it's for the exact same reason we just discussed. If you do it twice a day, like Tom was talking about, you also hit that biphasic dose response. You end up on the back end of that bell curve. So our mitochondria are finely tuned that if they get the appropriate amount of red and near infrared light, it's stimulative to energy production. But if they get too much of it, they become numb to it and they don't react to it. So if you started to do multiple sessions on the same area of your body in a day, your mitochondria would stop reacting the way we need them to, and the benefits would decline. So I hope that helps you understand it. The protocol can be really simple. 6 to 12 inches away from the panel, 10 to 20 minutes per session, no more than once a day. Now, if you enjoyed this and you want to learn more, check out our next video, Red Light Therapy for Beginners. It's for the home setup and the protocol. Thanks for joining us.